Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to see the next part of the story, the cock and the anthem. In the last lecture, we have seen the earlier part of the story, and in that lecture, we have seen that Sophie, he was trying to arrest himself. There were some problems in his life because he was poor and he was homeless. So after some days the winter season will start, and before that he was trying to arrest himself. He wanted to go into prison. He wanted to spend the whole winter season in the prison, and that's why he was trying to arrest himself. Arrest seemed now but an elusive dream. In the last lecture we have seen that he had attempted so many times to arrest himself, but all the attempts were unsuccessful, and that's why he was unhappy, and it looked like to get arrest himself by some way. It was like a dream, distant dream for the Sophie. The island seemed very far away. He had thought that the island means the prison. It was very long, and he was not able to reach on that island. That was the problem for Sophie. A policeman who stood before a drugstore 2 doors away laughed and walked down the street. There was one policeman standing at the drugstore, and he was looked at the Sophie and he laughed at him, and then he went away. Because at this time Sophie went in the restaurant. He went inside the restaurant, and he was not having enough money, so he was not able to pay the bill, the payment of the food or the breakfast, and by his appearance he was looking like a beggar. He was not looking a gentleman because of his appearance, and that's why he was, when he went inside the restaurant for the first time, at that time the waiter, they threw him out of the restaurant because that was a standard restaurant and the food was expensive there. But he had tried at another restaurant, but that was not expensive like the first one. So he went inside the restaurant and he had ordered some food, and after having food he told the waiter that you should call the police because I am not able to pay the bill of the food. At that time the waiter told him that no need to call the police. He was best, he was enough for him. And then the waiter threw him out of the restaurant. Sophie was seized with a sudden fear that some dreadful enchantment had rendered him immune to arrest. Now, Sophie had thought in his mind that because of some supernatural powers, he was not able to arrest himself. He was not able to go inside the prison, and it was happening because of some supernatural powers. So, with this thought, he had felt fear in his mind. He was in a state of panic, and when he came upon another policeman lounging grandly in front of a glittering theatre, he caught at the immediate straw of disorderly conduct. For some time he was walking, and after that he had realized that there was another policeman. He was doing his duty on the street, and that time the Sophie behaving very badly. He was shouting, he was crying, he was singing a song in a very loud voice, and there was so much disturbance because of that noise made by the Sophie. On the sidewalk, Sophie began to yell drunken gibberish at the top of his harsh voice. His voice was harsh, and if he could speak normally, then also his voice felt very harsh. And at this moment he was crying, he was shouting like a drunken person in order to get arrested himself. He danced, howled, raved, and otherwise disturbed the skies. He was dancing on the road, he was jumping on the road, and it was looking very bad. He was behaving mannerlessly. So he was thinking that somehow he could take the attention of that policeman, and then the policeman, he would caught him, he would arrest him, because this type of mannerism. The policeman merely twirled his club, turned his back to Sophie, and remarked to a citizen. The policeman, he was doing his work, he was doing his duty. He just looked back in this way, and then he told the other people. He told another citizen, this one of them yelled, lads celebrating the goose egg they give to the Hartford College. Noisy but no harm. The policeman remarked to another citizen that these are students from Yale University or Yale College, and they are celebrating the goose egg they give to the Hartford College. Might be they have defeated the college, the Yale Law College might have been defeated the Hartford College in some competition or in some championship. So the policeman was considering that Sophie was the student of Yale Law College or University, Yale College or University, and that's why he told the people, he told other citizens that don't take tension because this is just noisy. It disturbs us, but there is no harm. So we should not fear. We have instructions to let them be. The policeman told the people that they have instructions from their seniors that let it be. Disconsolate, Sophie stopped his unavailing racket. Would never a policeman lay hands on him? When Sophie heard what policeman had said, then he stopped. He stopped dancing, he stopped shouting, he stopped singing, because now he is so much unhappy. He had realized that policeman would not caught him or he would not arrest him, because the policeman was considered him as a student of Yale College or University. So he was thinking that would never a policeman lay hands on him. After this, he was not arrested for once. Was he not arrested for once? Or is he not arrested for in future? आता त्याला असं वाटायला लागतं की आता पोलीस त्याला एकदा सुद्धा अटक करणार नाहीत का? पोलीस त्याच्याकडे अजिबात लक्ष देत नसतात. प्रत्येक वेळेस तो कोणत्या ना कोणत्या कारणामुळे सुटत असतो, त्याची सुटका होत असते, किंवा पोलीस असं कारण देत असतात की तुझा यामध्ये काहीच दोष नाही, आणि प्रत्येक वेळेस सोफी निराश होत असतो. आणि त्यामुळे आता त्याला असं वाटतं की आपल्याला परत कधीच अटक होणार आहे की नाही, एवढा तो निराश झालेला असतो. इन हिज फॅन्सी द आयलँड सीम्ड अन अनअटेनेबल आर्काडिया. He was in deep thinking. He was thinking seriously, and in this state of mind, he was thinking that he would not be able to arrest himself. He would not be able to reach at his goal. His goal is only one, a single goal. Somehow he could arrest himself. He could enter inside the prison. He buttoned his thin coat against the chilling wind. The wind was flowing rapidly, and because of that, he buttoned his coat in order to protect himself from the cold wind. In a cigar store, he saw a well-dressed man lighting a cigar at the swinging light. After some time, he had seen one man standing in front of the cigar store and he was lighting his cigar. He was lighting his cigar at the swinging light by the lighter. He had set his silk umbrella by the door on entering. So that man who was standing in front of in a cigar store. So the man, he was standing inside the cigar store and he had put his umbrella at the gate of the cigar store, at the main door of the cigar store. Sophie stepped inside, grabbed the umbrella and sauntered off with it slowly. Sophie had seen that umbrella put by that man. So he went inside the store. He went inside the main door of that cigar store and suddenly he grabbed that umbrella and he went out. The man at the cigar light followed hastily. "My umbrella," he said sternly. The man who was trying to lighting the cigar by the swinging light, he turned back and he told the Sophie that was his umbrella which Sophie had taken, Sophie had grabbed. So he told Sophie that was my umbrella. My umbrella, he said sternly, he said rudely, hardly. "Oh, is it?" sneered Sophie. Sophie wanted to rob that person and that's why he had taken that umbrella. At this moment, Sophie had thought that was a well-dressed man. So if he could get his umbrella, then he could try to complain against Sophie. He could go into police against Sophie, and that's why Sophie had grabbed his umbrella. Now Sophie said, "Really? Is it your umbrella?" Sophie wanted to insult him, and that's why he was talking in this way. "Well, why don't you call a policeman? If this is your umbrella, then you should go into police. You should call a policeman. I took it because I took this umbrella. Now it is mine. Your umbrella. Why don't you call a cop? If you want to take it back, this umbrella, then you should go to police station. There stands one on the corner." Sophie also adding that there is a one policeman standing on the corner. So if you want your umbrella back, then you should call the policeman. The umbrella owner slowed his steps. Sophie did likewise with a premonition that luck would again run against him. The policeman eyed at the two curiously. First of all, he was walking rapidly towards the Sophie. But now, after listening all this, he slowed himself, and at the same time, Sophie had thought that something would happen in his favor, but at this moment also, he was unlucky. And at the same time, the policeman who was standing on the corner, he was looking curiously towards Sophie and the umbrella man. Of course, said the umbrella man, well, you know how these mistakes occur if it's your umbrella. The umbrella man slowed his steps, and then he said, oh, it's okay. It would be your umbrella, because I had found it today morning in the restaurant, and you know how these mistakes occur, how these mistakes happen. By mistake, I had grabbed your umbrella. So if you recognize this as it yours, then you should take with you. I have no problem. In this way, the umbrella man told the Sophie, because the umbrella man, he was also not a real owner of that umbrella, because he had also robbed someone else's umbrella, and that's why he was not hard with Sophie. Well, you know how these mistakes occur if it's your umbrella. I hope you will excuse me. You will recognize, if you recognize this is your umbrella, I have no problem. You should forgive me. Please excuse me. I picked it up this morning in a restaurant. If you recognize it as yours, why, I hope you will. Now, I don't want it because it is yours. Of course, it's mine, said Sophie savagely. Now, Sophie's one more attempt was unsuccessful, and that's why Sophie said angrily. Sophie replied angrily, yes, it's mine. The ex-umbrella man retreated. Then the ex-umbrella man, who pulled back. The policeman hurried to assist a tall blonde in an opera cloak across the street in front of a streetcar that was approaching 2 blocks away. The policeman, who was watching both these people, the ex-umbrella man and the Sophie, now he was going after another person, that is tall blonde, means a person with pale yellow hair. So the policeman was following the another person. Sophie walked eastward through a street damaged by improvements. After that, Sophie was turning towards east side. He was walking on the road and the road was not in a good condition. He hurled the umbrella angrily into an excavation. He threw that umbrella in a hole, in a cave. He muttered against the men who wear helmets and carry clubs. After that, he was talking rudely. He was talking badly about the people who wear helmets and carry clubs, because he wanted to fall into their clutches. They seemed to regard him as a king who could do nothing wrong. He wanted to fall into their clutches, means he wanted to rob them. Somehow he wanted to rob the people in order to get arrest himself. And all these people who carry clubs and who wear helmets, all these people, they were thinking that this man, Sophie, this man, he was like a king who could do nothing wrong. At length, Sophie reached one of the avenues to the east, where the glitter and turmoil was but faint. After some time, Sophie reached at another street, avenue. Avenue means wide road, wide street. And that road was on the that road was on the east side of the city. And the glitter and turmoil. Glitter means so much brightness. There was so much brightness and turmoil. Turmoil means disturbance. But it was faint. Means there was not much disturbance or glitter. He dragged himself toward Madison Square. Then he pulled himself onto Madison Square. For the homing instinct survives even when the home is a park bench. Now he pulled himself onto the Madison Square because he wanted to took himself towards the home, but he was homeless. But here his home means a bench in the park, a bench in the garden. But on an unusually quiet corner, Sophie came to a standstill. But after some time, Sophie, he was standing still. He was transfixed because of music, because of anthem. Here was an old church. He was walking beside the church. Quaint and rambling and gabled. Quaint means not attractive or old-fashioned. The old-fashioned church. Rambling means the roof of the church was not in good condition. The roof of the church was rambling here and there, and gabled means it is the part of the construction, particular type of construction, that is called as gabled. So that building or that church, it was built in a gabled form. Through one violet stained window, violet means purple color, there was a one window of violet color. A soft light glowed, and through that window Sophie was able to saw a soft light inside that church, where no doubt the organist loitered over the keys. The organist means musician. He was playing his organs, making sure of his mastery of the coming Shabbat anthem. He was preparing himself, that organist, that musician, preparing himself for the upcoming Shabbat anthem. Shabbat म्हणजे ज्यू धर्मीय लोकांचा विश्रांतीचा आणि ईश्वरचिंतनाचा दिवस. For there drifted out to Sophie's ears sweet music that caught and held him transfixed against the convolutions of the iron fence. So that music heard by the Sophie, and because of that music, Sophie was not moving here and there. He was standing still. He was focused on that music. He was listening very quiet, very carefully. He was listening very meticulously. So he lost himself in that music. The moon was above, full and radiant. There was a moonlight outside the church around the Sophie, and the moon in the sky, it was full and shining brightly. The moon was shining. Vehicles and pedestrians were few. There were few people who were walking, and there were few vehicles running on the street. Sparrows twittered sleepily in the yews, or a little while the scene might have been a country churchyard. There were no noise there were no noise of anything. Everywhere there was a very quiet atmosphere. Everything was quiet around that church. Only few sparrows were tweeting. Only few sparrows were making noise. And there was no any kind of other noise around the Sophie. And the anthem that the organist played cemented Sophie to the iron fence. Around that church there was a iron fence, a compound of fence, and because of that music, Sophie was standing still beside the iron fence. Now I can stop here. We will see the remaining part of the remaining part of the lesson in the next lecture. Thank you.